You know, I'm not actually sure how to introduce our next guest because I was one of the people who signed her NDA. So let's just say, welcome Raven-Symone and her wife, Miranda Pyramid-Mayday.
If you were watching The View on July 11th, you probably went, huh? After Whoopi's intro for Raven. Well, Joy immediately explained the joke.
What Whoopi is referring to is that you made some news recently when you revealed that you used to make everyone that you dated sign an NDA.
Now, I don't think anyone actually believed that Whoopi dated Raven, but it did add fuel to the lesbian fire.
I want to just dig into your business a little bit. Sometimes you give me lesbian vibes. You give me like stud vibes.
I think this is...
So yesterday, Whoopi was on Raven and her wife Miranda's podcast, which probably has the worst title ever when it comes to Googling it, the best podcast ever. And Raven posted this tease of Whoopi's response on YouTube Shorts.
I think she just wants everyone to be gay, and she's just really hoping you're going to come out right here, right now. So
Women have been asking me this for as long as I've been around. It's like, what do you care who I love?
So in that tease, Raven didn't actually include what Whoopi's response is. She says she's asked about it a lot. So I pulled up the actual podcast, which is just audio, and Whoopi doesn't actually pose this question.
It's like, what do you care who I love?
In response. She asked that rhetorically earlier when they're discussing people who want to impose their views or beliefs on others, like straight people being anti-gay.
It's like, what do you care who I love? Why is it important that you tell me about who I love? What? I'm not telling you who you love. I'm not going in your business.
Then a few minutes later, we get Raven's whole lesbian vibes thing, and Miranda saying it's just her wishful thinking. Then Whoopi responds with this.
Women have been asking me this for as long as I've been around. I am not a lesbian,
Okay.
but I know lots of them, and I've played them on television.
Oh, that's enough.
You know.
This is much bigger than you realize. You all have to get yourselves together.
In terms of her TV work, in the miniseries When We Rise, Whoopi played Pat Norman, the real-life first openly gay employee of the San Francisco Health Department. There might be other TV work where she played a lesbian as well, but I'm not going to go through her whole resume here. But yeah, in terms of movies...
Well, that's 1984. Nobody was going to let me and Suge make out. They just weren't. One kiss is all you get, you know.
Technically, it was 3 kisses in The Color Purple.
We didn't really talk about the fact that she was a lesbian. We didn't talk about it because,
In a 2014 Pride Source interview, Whoopi acknowledged that Celie was gay. In that interview, Whoopi also says that she forgets the title of the other movie where she played a lesbian. Do you know the movie? I'll give you a second to guess.
Well, Holly told me you didn't know I was gay.
That would be 1995's Boys on the Side.
Why aren't you after me?
Because you're not my type.
The Pride Source interviewer, Chris Azopardi, reminds Whoopi of the title and she says, I love that movie. And just like when she joked on The View recently that her and Raven dated, I guess you could say Whoopi played a lesbian in 2009 as well in The View when Rachel Maddow was on.
Rachel, she's about to come out of the closet.
Please, that door's been open for years.
But yeah, the real life Whoopi has been married to a man on 3 different occasions and divorced all 3 of those men. And I just learned today that none of those marriages were to Ted Danson or Frank Langella. She was just in long-term relationships with those 2. Oh, okay, that's what I learned today. But yeah, Whoopi has always been an ally of the lesbian community.
I have always had lesbian friends because they're just my friends, you know.
Whoopi then distinguishes where she'll show affection to her lesbian friends, and it's just audio. It really would have helped to have the visual for this.
I'm not going to kiss you, but I'll kiss you over here. I'll do this, but I'm not going to do this. And they're like, okay.
I'm sure Whoopi motions something like, I'll kiss her on the cheek, but not on the lips. But it's just funny not to see the visual of that, to see what she's referring to. But yeah, Whoopi says it very clear.
I am not a lesbian.
So Raven's reaction is an odd one.
It's fantastic. You're not either one or the other. You're just a human.
Nope. I mean, Whoopi doesn't correct her, but she is one and not the other. She's straight and not gay. That's like, I don't understand Raven's response there. It's odd that people still speculate about Whoopi's sexuality. Like 3 marriages to men, 2 other very high profile relationships with men. And then remember when her granddaughter said this on Claim to Fame last year?
She had a boyfriend that was like 90 years old and she used to go hang out with him. What? Some old white man named John or some and he was like a billionaire.
So we're up to 6 long-term relationships with men. And sure, someone could still be closeted after all that, but I mean, you really think the outspoken Whoopi, who's been suspended by ABC in the past, at 67 years old, is still scared about coming out of the closet? Come on. Yeah, what do you think about her comments and Raven's weird response that doesn't actually acknowledge that Whoopi said she was straight? Yeah, what do you think?